Hey everybody, it's the Cartoonkid back again with another fantastic fanfic idea. And today I'm bringing you Helluva Gang. Now, you're probably wondering, why did I come up with this? Well, with bad guys too, I figured I sort of speed run a few of my bad guys inspired stories. For instance, I thought, why not Helluva Boss? And to be fair, I got like one with more of these ideas before I start doing the sequel. But I digress. Story. In the burning circles of hell, where demons and imps coexist in chaotic harmony, Blitzo led the most infamous gang of criminals in the underworld. The red-skinned imp with his scarred eye and devilish grin commanded respect and fear in equal measure. His crew consisted of his best friend and master safecracker Moxie, expert hacker and weapons specialist Millie, master of disguise Luna, and loose cannon pyromaniac Striker. Yet, after yet another brazen heist involving stolen souls and a spectacle chase through the Pride Ring, Overlord Stella publicly mocked the gang's predictability the during a hellish news broadcast. The criticism stung Blitzo's pride deeply. He convinced the gang to pull off their biggest score yet, stealing the Golden Pitchfork Award, said to be presented to the renowned demon philanthropist Adam, the first man turned demon overlord who had been generously helping rebuild sections of hell damaged by recent exterminator raids. The infiltrating the award ceremony in the fancy Gorissa district, Blitzo experienced something unexpected. When an elderly imp dropped her purse, he found himself helping her without thinking. The strange, warm feeling that followed, something he'd never experienced doing a job, delayed their escape just long enough for Hell's police force to surround them. Moxie saw Tim a confused look as hellhounds closed in. Blitzo's uncharacteristic moments of kindness had blown their entire operation. To avoid the maximum security prison of this and potentially steal the award again later, Blitzo persuaded the authorities to let Adam attempt to reform their criminal ways instead of imprisonment. The judge, swayed by Blitzo's surprising eloquence about second chances, agreed to the unprecedented arrangement. Adam's efforts to rehabilitate the gang were spectacularly unsuccessful. The pompous first man, with his golden rings and insufferable latitude, treated them like unruly children during therapy sessions and team building exercises. His condescending approach to their reformation granted grated against every fiber again of their being. The training culminated in a disastrous attempt to rescue baby infants from a demon research facility. Millie accidentally blew up half the building. Striker set set the other half on fire, and Luna bit 3 researchers. The mission was a complete catastrophe that nearly ended the experiment entirely. Stella nearly called off the rehabilitation program, but during a private moment, she surprised Blitzo by showing unexpected understanding. She spoke of knowing what it felt like to be seen as the villain everyone expected you to be. Her icy demeanor cracking to reveal genuine empathy. That night, Blitzo found himself rescuing a hellcat from a burning tree, something completely out of character. Adam, who had been secretly recording, captured it on video. The footage went viral across Hell's social media, transforming the gang's public image overnight from feared criminals to unlikely heroes. But Moxie grew increasingly worried, sensing that Blitzo was losing sight of their original plan to steal the golden pitchfork once their guard was down. During their rehabilitation period, Blitzo began secretly meeting with Stolas, the owl demon prince of the Oscarisa. What started as Blitzo planning to use the royal connection for information had evolved into something much deeper and more complicated. Their midnight encounters in Stolas' observatory became the highlight of Blitzo's day. The Owl Prince saw through Blitzo's crude exterior into something more complex underneath. Their conversations ranged from philosophical to personal fears, and Blitzo found himself opening up in ways he never had before. Stolas spoke of loneliness in his gilded cage, while Blitzo shared his fear of being seen as nothing more than a monster. At Adam's charity gala in his golden palace, the gang prepared to execute their real plan. But when the moment came to steal the golden pitchfork, Blitzo couldn't go through with it. His feelings for Stolas and his genuine desire for something better had changed him fundamentally. Instead, disaster struck when someone else stole an ancient relic, the Apple of Knowledge, and the gang was framed for the theft. As they were arrested, Blitzo shocked everyone by giving the authorities the location of their hideout and returning all their stolen goods, hoping to prove their innocence through cooperation. In Hell's maximum security prison, Adam revealed his true nature to the imprisoned gang. The, the, philanthrop- the philanthropic demon lord had orchestrated everything, including disguising himself as the elderly imp Blitzo had helped. The Apple of Knowledge had been his target all along, and framing the gang was simply a convenient cover up for his truer plan. Adam's revelation that he had manipulated every moment of their supposed redemption hit the gang like a physical blow. The sweet old imp, the rescue opportunities, even some of their public relations wins, all carefully orchestrated deceptions. Little tried to convince his crew that despite Adam's betrayal, the possibility of genuine change was still real. The growth they had experienced, the bonds they had strengthened, and the good they had done, those were authentic, regardless of Adam's manipulation. But Moxie's faith finally broke. Years of being seen as nothing but violent criminals had worn him down, and Adam's betrayal felt like proof that society would never accept them as anything more than monsters. In his anger and despair, he stormed off and eventually allied with Adam, believing that embracing their villainous nature was their only honest opinion. Help came from an unexpected source. Stolas, using his considerably powerful power and influence as a Gorissa prince, orchestrated their escape from Hell's maximum security prison. During their rescue, Blitzo discovered artifacts from legendary heists in Stolas' palace and realized the truth about his lover's past. Stolas had once been the Crimson Owl, a master thief who had disappeared from Hell's criminal underworld decades ago. When he had attempted to steal the crown of Lucifer himself, he realized he had become exactly what his normal family always said he was, a disgrace to the Gorissa bloodline. The same had driven him to abandon his criminal ways and try to become better. The parallel between their stories wasn't lost on either of them. Both had been seen as inevitable villains by society, and both had found the strength to change through their connection to each other. Together, Blitzo and Stolitz uncovered Adam's real scheme. The first man was using the Apple of Knowledge to mind control an army of cherubs, sending them to steal from Hell's charity organizations. The stolen funds would finance his plan to ascend to a higher circle of power, potentially even mounting a return to heaven. Adam's motivation stemmed from his fall from grace, cast out of Eden and eventually ending up in hell. He had spent millennia plotting his return to divine favor. His philanthropic work had been a carefully constructed facade, building the reputation and resources necessary for his ultimate goal. During the chaotic battle to stop Adam's plan, the rest of the gang experienced their own moment of clarity, watching Blitzo fight not just for hell, but for the possibility of redemption itself. They understood that their leader's change of heart represented strength, not weakness. Stryker shared his last cigarette with Luna in a moment of genuine camaraderie, and they all realized that family meant protecting each other, even from their own worst impulses. Moxie's alliance with Adam led to a dramatic confrontation where he captured both Blitzo and Stolas. The rest of the gang arrived for a desperate mission, leading to a wild chase through Hell's streets as Adam's mind-controlled cherub army pursued them through the burning cityscape. During the chaos, Blitz was forced to make an impossible choice. When Adam threatened to drop Moxie from his flying chariot, Blitz surrendered the apple of knowledge without hesitation. His willingness to sacrifice their mission to save the friend who had betrayed him spoke volumes about his genuine transformation. But Moxie revealed that he had been playing a deeper game. While pretending to be an ally with Adam, he had actually switched the real apple with a fake replica. His apparent betrayal had been a calculated risk to get close enough to Adam to sabotage the plan from within. The trust Blitzo had shown him, even after their fight, had given him the strength to do what was right. When the fake apple's destruction exposed Adam as the true thief and would-be tyrant, the gang faced a choice. They could try to escape in the chaos or face the consequences of their past crimes with dignity. Without hesitation, they chose to turn themselves in, finally ready to take responsibility for their actions. Stolas stepped forward to stand with them, revealing his identity as the Crimson Owl in his own criminal past. If the gang was going to face justice, he would face it alongside them. His willingness to sacrifice his noble status for love and principle moved even the hardened demons of Hell's justice system. The trial that followed became a sensation throughout Hell. The gang's genuine remorse, their heroic actions in stopping Adam, and the testimony of those they had helped during their rehabilitation period painted a picture of authentic change. Even Stella spoke on their behalf, acknowledging their growth and potential. The, the sentences were surprisingly lenient. Community service and probation rather than lengthy imprisonment. The gang was required to use their skills for legitimate purposes, leading to the foundation of IMP Security, a company dedicated to protecting other demons from supernatural threats. Blitzo and Stolas' relationship deepened as they navigated their new life together. The Owl Prince frequently joined the team on their more dangerous cases, his magical abilities complementing their street-smart tactics. Their love story became something of a legend in Hell, proof that even the most unlikely pairs could find happiness together. Moxie threw himself into the legitimate business with surprising enthusiasm, discovering that using his skills to help people gave him a satisfaction that crime never had. Really found joy in protecting the innocent rather than terrorizing them. Stryker channeled his destructive tendencies into controlled demolition work for Hell's reconstruction projects. Even Luna, despite her perpetual attitude, showed genuine care for their clients. One even as Blitzo and Stolas watched Hell's crimson sunset from the Princess Observatory, they reflected on their journey. The former criminal and the reformed noble had found in each other not just love, but the courage to become better than either had thought possible. Their story inspired other demons throughout Hell. Reforming programs based on their experience began appearing in other circles. The idea that redemption was possible, even in hell itself, slowly began to take root in a realm that had always been in the performance of damnation. The bad guys had become the good guys, not through magic or divine intervention, but through the power of genuine connection, mutual respect, and the courage to believe that anyone could change. In a realm where hope was considered a weakness, they had proven that sometimes the strongest thing you could do was choose to be a choose to be better than the monster everyone expected you to be. Their love story, chaotic, unlikely, and absolutely perfect in its imperfection, became proof that in hell or anywhere else, everyone deserved a chance at happiness and redemption. The end. And that's my best attempt at a Helluva version of the bad guys. But I digress. Anyway, this is pretty much all I got for today, so please be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe if you kind of like this idea. And if you do like it, want to use it, maybe improve on it a little bit, all I simply ask is credit for the idea. Okay, bye!